Welcome back to ChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. Getting videos today from Cheek Slaying headquarters. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
According to Customs and Border Protection, this disruption started at about 1:30 on Sunday, and this happened at the Paso del Norte Bridge in El Paso, Texas. Now, this connects El Paso to Ciudad Juarez, Mexico, and CBP says that they deployed physical barriers to stop this attempted mass entry into the United States. Why are we seeing this right now? Well, you probably remember the immigration policy towards Venezuelans changed in October, and since then there's been a swelling of Venezuelans in Ciudad Juarez on the Mexican side.
I feel for people. I'm not saying that people don't deserve a better life or they shouldn't fight for a better life to come here. I'm not saying that, but there are other ways to do it legally, and this way is definitely not the correct way.
They don't respect their own laws. What makes you think they'll respect our laws? The entitlement they feel that we owe them anything is astounding. They come here so me and you can pay to support them.
You demonized immigrants in this election to try to keep...
I want them to come into the country, but they have to come in legally. You know, they have to come in, Jim, through a process. I want it to be a process, and I want people to come in, and we need the people.
Your campaign...
Wait. You know why we need the people, don't you? Because we have hundreds of companies moving in. We need the...
Promises made, promises kept. That's what you want from a good leader. Now, I'm going to play this next clip, and I'm going to show you guys the comments on the right-hand side. Let me know what you guys think.
Migrants shackled and in chains boarding a deportation flight. The Trump administration has released this footage touting the president's crackdown on illegal migration.
We have become too tolerable to criminals and to other things, and all of us became somewhat social justice warriors trying, what about them? What about all these people that have less fortunate than us? Who cares? Are you fortunate enough to be a millionaire, to do all the things you want to do in this country? No? Then maybe focus on some of those things. Why care so much about other people when they have done bad things and things are happening to them that's outside of you, that you really have no control over, right? As much as you want these immigrants or whatever not to get deported, you can't do anything. Why get so upset? We even had protests here in OC in LA on the 405, which is one of the biggest major freeways here in LA or in OC. Why are you disrupting other people's lives for other people's lives that you can't control or you have no control over, but you want to force it on everybody to care?
These flights returning undocumented migrants from the US were happening even before Donald Trump returned to the White House. 1.5 million people were deported under Joe Biden, many of them similarly on planes and in chains. One key difference is that Donald Trump is now using military planes for deportations. I spoke to some Brazilians who were deported on one of those planes. They told me that being in handcuffs caused panic because there were technical faults with the plane. The plane was incredibly hot and it was difficult to use the bathroom. The ones that
I'm sorry, you got deported and the amenities aren't to your liking from the plane that's taking you back to your country.
Spoke to said that they had been detained months ago under Joe Biden's administration when they tried to cross into the US across the Mexico border. These images show migrants, most of them men, on a jet with armed members of the military. From Trump's perspective, this is meant to be a show of strength, a sign that he's willing to use all types of government resources to fulfill his promises. But they've been controversial in South America.
Okay, if you guys think it's dehumanizing, this is dystopia, this is inhumane. All right, how about we take these illegal aliens and have them live with you? Let's see how that turns out. F around and find out.
Pretty much.
Meanwhile. So you would do anything for...
And there's great human beings out there that allow refugees into their home and sponsor refugees and sponsor immigrants and things like that. Those are wonderful people. I'll tell you guys a story now. The white family that kind of took in my family. They took in my third aunt. But after they took in my third aunt, they helped them out, they everything. My cousins now, 40, 50 years later, still see that lady as like a mother figure. Her husband just passed maybe a few years ago, and now she lives alone. And my cousins go and check on her all the time. My aunt goes and check on her all the time. Even though there's a language barrier, these people are like family. These are wonderful people that were willing to take in strangers from another country and help them out. There's very few of that nowadays. Hell, even me thinking about it, I might not be so generous as some of the people back in the day were.
Like all the illegals
I
and
think we
stuff.
have to be fair.
Guys, this is great. I think we found a new home for you guys.
What guys?
There you go.
Is that your bus?
Yeah.
I don't understand what this is all about.
This is all the immigration. They're gonna move into your house.
They are not.
What do you mean? You just said you wanted to support everyone, though.
Okay, that I don't.
No, they're
Guys,
not
we
violent.
got a
They're
new
not
house.
violent. They're good. They're
Oh no,
like,
hop it! Just like you guys did before.
Thank you very much.
Can they stay for dinner? Wait.
Sorry.
Well, we have your signature. You guys got to drive back down south.
Back to Home Depot.
I bet you she proceeded to call the cops, which she wants to defund. Very compassionate, as long as it's someone else's problem.
Imagine if I went to Africa and I wanted to live there, right? And all of a sudden, Africa wanted to deport me back to my homeland, the United States of America. And imagine if I went and I protested against Africa and I was lifting a United States of America flag in protest, saying I wanted to stay in Africa, but waving this flag from another country. How crazy would that look? How crazy would that be?
How crazy does it sound?
That's exactly what's happening with people that are protesting right now in the United States. They're lifting up flags from different countries in protest of being deported back to those countries. Think about that.
That doesn't
How
even
wild
make
is
sense.
that? If you love that country so
America.
much, why don't you go back over there?
Yep.
But let's be really honest. Instead of you sitting there lifting up that flag from another country, why don't you lift up the flag from the United States of America and say, hey, I want to stay here. I love
Exactly.
this country. I appreciate this country. It's a blessing to live here. I don't want to go back to any other country. And you wonder why patriots and United States citizens like myself are fed up seeing this stuff. Because you're ungrateful. You don't appreciate the blessing it is to live in the United States of America. If you did, you wouldn't lift a flag of a foreign country that didn't do nothing for you.
These are the type of immigrants.
I mean, I love Cambodia. You don't see me waving the Cambodian flag. You don't see the Cambodian flag behind me or anything like that. Because it has done nothing for me. Cambodia has done nothing for me. This country has done everything.
We should have had people who respect and value the American values, not people who hate America. Now, I'm just glad that they're protesting because it makes it a whole lot easier for ICE to come pick them up. Take a look at this.
Chinese national who organized pro-Palestinian rallies at UCLA, I don't know her name, Liu, has just had her visa revoked.
I mean, regardless of political leaning, one should admit that going to a foreign country and organizing a protest against that country is absolutely ludicrous.
It's crazy.
This is who picks them up. This is who lures them out on the internet, and they disappear or they get raped and their lives change forever. And he shouldn't even be here, but he's doing this. But they don't raise their hand and say, hey, there's somebody that doesn't even have the right to be here that's preying upon our children, and they don't tell you about it.
Exactly, and this Governor Pritzker, and the mayor, they want to vilify the men and women of ICE. ICE saved children today. ICE saved children today. And it makes me angry. Governor Pritzker the other day went on the internet, social media, saying ICE was attacking our elementary school. He's scaring children. He's scaring the neighborhood, putting fear in the community. We're doing the exact opposite. We're saving children. Every sexual predator we arrest.
When bad people aren't checked, especially bad foreign people that aren't checked, they're going to keep doing bad things. we need to just stop them from doing bad things. There's called laws.
It means more safe children. So God bless the men with ICE. As you've seen today, we're not sweeping neighborhoods. This is a target enforcement operation. We spend a lot of time investigating these people. We know exactly who we're looking for. So it's a target enforcement operation. It's the right thing to do.
Well, let's talk about how methodical this was, because you guys had this man, this monster on the list, and they've been sitting on this guy for 2 or 3 days to try to get where he was and his pattern, and you were actually able to ping his cell phone and get him on the move so he could be picked up on the street rather than if he got to his dwelling, wherever that is, and got behind a closed door, then he could have sat there and you didn't have the right to go in and get him if he sits behind that door, right?
Not without a criminal arrest warrant. That's exactly the point. He could have been arrested at a county jail in the safety and security of the county jail by one officer.
Right.
But we spent hundreds of hours to investigate him, try to find out where he is, and we did find him. It takes a whole team for officer safety reasons to arrest him.
It's a lot of money.
It's not efficient. We could arrest many more criminals if you let us in the jail. It's just a lot harder to find these guys out in the public. These guys don't want to be found. They're in the wind. It takes a lot of investigative work to find them. Let us into jail. Don't let them hit the street. It saves officers time, it's safer for the community, it's safer for the alien, it's safer for the officer. But spending hundreds of hours of investigation to find this guy when we could have got him in 5 minutes at the Cook County Jail.
Okay, tell me.
Tom Homan is a hero for speaking truth to power against Governor Pritzker's lies about ICE. ICE is doing the job that Democrats like Pritzker won't do, protecting our children from harm. Pritzker should be ashamed of himself for vilifying ICE and putting politics over people's lives.
What? So you mean to tell me there's no drunks at this time?
Where is this?
Blasting their fucking cumbia on their little fucking bootleg JBL speakers? Catcalling me? What? I'm loving it. I'm loving this piece.
Is this New York?
Ooh.
Finally, a society where we can live and breathe freely again. Now, for my predictions, rent in major cities...
I don't even know how freely we can breathe and live for much longer, tell the truth, with the way the government wants to control everything.
...are going to get a lot cheaper in these cities soon, too.
Hopefully.
This is a nice video. It's actually nice to see
It's a
that
little
she's
wholesome,
actually enjoying it. America is becoming great again.
I don't care what nobody says. This motherfucker just took away the Equal Employment Act. I can't, you cannot make this shit up.
Yes, you can, and yes, you did. He did not take away the equal employment laws. He did not take away any of your rights. None. This is all liberal logic. He didn't take away any of this. Only thing he took away is your fucking excuses. Now your excuses are out the door. What are you gonna do? You can either earn a job by merit, or earn a job by resume, earn a job by working hard. Why does that bother
that coochie?
Y'all love to be put in positions which you didn't earn. And for me, that bothers me. I don't want any job that they put me in place of employment due to my skin color. I don't want it. That doesn't make sense to me. That's weird. That's not how the world should work. I feel bad for all the white Americans that had to live through anything but the opposite. They work hard too.
They do?
Argue.
Yeah, I do. If she wants to come onto our boat so you can get it, she can.
Okay. You want to just sit right here and turn
So
around?
I came.
Okay.
Gotcha, bitch!
I'm getting arrested. I don't know what the hell going on.
They got bomb hemmed up.
God damn, y'all!
Woo!
Are they ODing?
I agree with the cameraman.
God damn, y'all!
Oh my God!
Stop following her!
Are they ODing with prom though?
I'm trying to figure out what's happening.
Will occurs a police officer with a BBL. How is she supposed to chase after criminals when she has a 43-pound diaper she's carrying? Somebody needs to change her diaper. It probably takes her 5 to 10 business days to fart.
Nasty bitch.
Let me get this straight. You're protesting in America to be here illegally, and you're waving the flag that you're from, but you refuse to go back to the country that you're from. And not only that, you're taking the American flag, throwing it on the ground and stepping on it. Then why are you here?
That's a really great point. If you're waving another country's flag and refusing to go back, why are you protesting in America and disrespecting our flag? It just doesn't make sense. If you want to be here, you should respect our laws and our symbols of freedom. People who come to America should come legally and respectfully, not by breaking our laws and trampling on our values.
Oh, there's the phone. Don't! I'm walking towards the phone. No! I'm getting closer to the phone. And now, for the moment we've all been waiting for.
I'm sure a lot of us are doing this to our Hispanic friends right now.
I'm begging you!
He did everything for me to live over here, the rest, and I don't know where I'm going to eat. And I'm so right now. I need my dad for me. My dad is...
I feel for kids. You guys know I love kids. No Diddy. But you know how I feel for kids. I actually don't feel bad about this. I feel bad as in the kid did not put herself in the situation. And then I actually understand that the father, as a father myself, or if I was a father, I'm not saying I'm a father, sorry guys, misspoke. I would also do everything in my power to get my children into a better life also, right? But when you're doing things illegally and think bad things happen, I also can't blame the government or something else for all the actions I took.
He's not a criminal or something. That's what the immigrants took them. Please let him free. The government, please put your heart. Let my parents be free with everybody else, please. Don't leave the child behind us.
Again, I feel bad, but I don't.
That's all the words I have for y'all.
They appealed for this release today outside City Hall, yesterday, I should say, outside City Hall.
My sisters are crying because their dad isn't here. So please, let him come home.
Yeah.
We take fathers from homes all the time, especially in the United States, that aren't immigrants. Why aren't we so sad about those fathers? I'm just, conversating.
Yes, I know. This is absolutely heartbreaking. No kid should ever have to go through this. But if you just zoom out and look at the big picture, some of these kids' fathers are drug cartels, wanted criminals, extremely dangerous people who cause harm to society, killers, murderers. And it's gotten so bad that Trump is doing this.
Today, I'm also signing an executive order to instruct the Departments of Defense and Homeland Security to begin preparing the 30,000-person migrant facility at Guantanamo Bay. Most people don't even know about it. We have 30,000 beds in Guantanamo to detain the worst criminal illegal aliens threatening the American people. Some of them are so bad we don't even trust the countries to hold them because we don't want them coming back, so we're going to send them out to Guantanamo.
Like the thought process of this, I had nothing against. It makes sense. There's such bad criminals that their own countries can't handle them, nor do their own countries even want them back. Where would we put these people? We got to put them outside of society. I'm not saying to put them out of their misery or kind of thing, but sometimes when you do bad things, you don't belong in society anymore.
This will double our capacity immediately, right? And That's a tough place to get out of. Today's signings bring us one step closer to eradicating the scourge of migrant crime in our communities once and for all. And it was just it's just an unforced error that we even have to be doing this. Now we need Congress to provide full funding for the complete and total restoration of our sovereign borders, as well as financial support to remove record numbers of illegal aliens. And these are illegal alien killers, criminals at levels that nobody's ever seen before.
Promises made, promises kept, with President Trump taking immediate action on his top campaign focus, fighting illegal immigration. From coast to coast, ICE agents going city to city, sometimes door to door, tracking down the nearly 1.5 million undocumented set for deportation. And as ICE closes in on migrants, once vibrant Chicago neighborhoods are now turning into ghost towns. And tonight we are taking you to a neighborhood that has gone silent.
Look, I said from day one, no one's off the table.
The Trump administration setting out to execute what it has promised.
We arrested 1,300 people. Over 1,000 of them were criminals.
Immigration and customs enforcement operations reportedly underway in jurisdictions all across the nation. Federal agents have been spotted in many sanctuary cities carrying out these operations.
I hope the sanctuary cities come around.
The usually bustling and vibrant streets of this Hispanic neighborhood in Chicago sit relatively empty because of the concerns over ICE.
Welcome to Mesquite Restaurant, sir.
This little taqueria, like most in the Pilsen neighborhood, is owned and operated by immigrants. The Cruz family, who in 1994 made the long journey from Mexico City to Chicago to grow their little taco stand into a thriving restaurant.
We got tacos, we got breakfast, chilaquiles.
This American dream is one thousands of migrants are striving for when they cross the southern border. But
that's what we strive for. We did it with donut shops. Cambodians did it with donut shops. We didn't have tacos. So.
Drastic shutdown of illegal immigration is a campaign promise the majority of American voters are expecting Donald Trump to make good on.
Honest to you, when he come back again, I was like, man, I feel scared.
President Trump, border czar Tom Homan, and the highest-ranking members of Immigration and Customs Enforcement say they're only targeting violent criminals during these initial deportations. News Nation has seen what these operations look like. I rode along and conducted early morning raids with ICE agents when they arrested men from Iraq and Belize, convicted criminals who spent prison time for robbery and gun charges.
I'm not a criminal. I'm a good guy. I pay my taxes. I do everything right. You know what's going to happen to me? They're going to grab me too. You know? They're not going to check right now.
We've seen examples of resistance throughout Hispanic neighborhoods, including these signs instructing immigrant men and women to push back and block federal agents from entering their homes. But the reality is, new polling shows 65% of Americans strongly support deporting immigrants convicted of violent crimes.
It's not just immigrants, right? It's always that caveat, that convicted violent crimes. Why are we not saying that louder? Like louder, where everybody can hear violent criminals.
That includes Horacio Aguilera, an Iraq war veteran and Mexican-American police officer. He voted for Trump and wants mass deportations of criminals to carry on as quickly as possible.
A lot of Hispanic Americans, there was also a rise that voted for Trump. I think 9 out of 10 people that are living here in America, Chicago, Illinois, are going to agree that if you're an illegal resident and you are arrested for committing a crime, prosecuted for committing a crime, and you are an illegal resident, you are subject to deportation.
The so-called...
Again, when I was growing up, this was the biggest fear of growing up, because I was only a permanent resident. My family was so staunch, don't commit any crimes. They could take your permanent residency away. They can deport you back to Cambodia, and then you're screwed. You're never going to be able to come back to here ever again. This was instilled into me when I was a kid. Why is it not instilled in some of these people? I'm not saying they should come here illegally, but if you are here illegally, don't commit crimes.
Mass deportations have not been carried out in Chicago like people once believed. But that hasn't stopped local and state leaders from sounding the alarm and strengthening local codes which reinforce the city's sanctuary status.
We should stand up for them. That is the right thing to do. But he's trying to tear things down.
Governor, what's your response to people who might say that Democrats are the one sowing chaos, confusion, and fear-mongering when talking about mass deportations that haven't even happened in Chicago?
What are you talking about? They are literally threatening people all across the country. How can you say that we're overreacting somehow? We're not.
The Trump administration is vowing to investigate and prosecute local and state officials who stand in the way of what the federal government is doing. Natasha?
Yeah, Alex, with that tonight, thank you.
Every country would arrest me if I didn't have a passport.
Correct.
77 million people voted for deportation, and we got exactly what we voted for. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and comment down below what you guys think.
I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise.
I think immigration is wonderful. It's provided my family, provided a lot of people from other countries a wonderful life. But a lot of these people came here legally, went through the ringer, took the time, the effort, the money that it all required to become a citizen or a permanent resident to live here legally. Everybody should do the same. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that.